The other day, I got to take a look at the all-new Triumph Sport 400 and Scrambler 400X models at my local Triumph dealer, Mom's, in Foxborough, Massachusetts. These two new bikes were on the pre-production tour and thus available for we enthusiasts to ogle over. Well, here I am at Mom's in Foxborough, Massachusetts. We're going to go inside and take a look at the new Triumph 400 motorcycles. Unfortunately, neither of these bikes was able to start, so I did not get to hear the engine or the exhaust note, but I did get to examine the bikes and throw a leg over to see how they felt. Both bikes share the same 398cc liquid-cooled 4-valve single-cylinder engine that puts out 39.5 brake horsepower at 8,000 RPMs and 27.7 foot-pounds of torque at 6,500 RPMs. They also share the same frame and many other components, but they do differ slightly when it comes to wheel size, suspension, and brakes. The 400 Speed uses 17-inch cast aluminum wheels fore and aft, while the Scrambler 400X adds a 19-inch wheel up front. Both use a 43mm upside-down big piston front shock, but the Scrambler offers 150mm of travel, whereas the Speed is limited to 140mm. Likewise, the rear monoshock of the Scrambler provides an extra 20mm of travel at 150. The Scrambler also offers a slightly larger front brake rotor at 320mm versus 300 for the Speed. So these upgrades on the Scrambler 400X will cost you an additional $600 over the $49.95 base price of the Speed 400, putting the Scrambler at $55.95. The Scrambler also outweighs the Speed at 395 pounds versus 375 pounds. Sitting on the bike, the first thing you notice is that the Scrambler is a pretty tall bike with a seat height of just under 33 inches. I was on the balls of my feet at 5'9". The Speed 400, on the other hand, has a seat height of just over 31 inches, making it very easy for me to place both feet flat on the ground. Both saddles felt comfortable, but it is hard to tell without being able to ride them. The reach to the bars also felt natural and relaxed. Triumph normally has a very high level of fit and finish, and overall both of the 400s followed suit. But I did notice that the finish on the engine covers is not quite as nice on something like the Bonneville line. But I guess that is to be expected on a bike that costs less than half the price. The only real thing that irritated me was the fact that both of the instrument clusters were not centered properly. One was cocked to the left and the other cocked to the right, but since these are pre-production bikes, I'm giving Triumph the benefit of the doubt and expecting that things like this will be corrected by the time customers start receiving their orders in February. One thing I did question about the bike was the Bi-Bri brakes. In fact, I asked what the hell a Bi-Bri was. Well, it turns out that Bi-Bri is the Indian subsidiary of Brembo and stands for Bi Brembo. These Bi-Bri brakes are intended for small displacement bikes and are made at Brembo's Pune facility, which makes sense since the Speed 400 and Scrambler 400X are produced in India by Bajaj Auto. Now, I know this fact might put some people off, but Triumph says that Triumph engineering and manufacturing is the same no matter where the motorcycle is produced. My Tiger 1200 was made in Thailand, and so far it is proving to be a great motorcycle. So I guess the jury is out on the quality of these new 400cc motorcycles. We will just have to wait and see when we get to ride one in the spring of 2024. Well, that was fun. We'll look forward to being able to try one in the spring. Right now, of course, these are just their tour models, pre-production. Nothing turns on. But like I said, in the spring, we'll see if we can try one out. Ride safe, my friend.